In this video, I'm going to be jacking up the Miata right here, and I've got the maintenance manual right here. And the way that you jack it up to put it on jack stands is you use the front cross member, and you put the jack underneath the front cross member. I'll show you the exact spot, but you just lift the whole entire front end of the car up all at once, both wheels, and then in the rear use the rear differential, and there's like a little space at the rear differential. I'll show that a little bit later in this video, maybe take a picture. And here's the jacking points right there and right here for the rear. There's like those little tabs right there, they're actually on the car, and that's where you put the jack stands on the car on both sides of the vehicle. The points are in between these little knobs right here and here, and then on the rear is between that spot and that spot. But I'll go down here, and this jack right here, you can see it, it's a low profile jack, but the back of it right there, it's a little bit higher than the lip of the car. So I just lift the side of the car up, and then I'm able to slide the jack underneath the front of the car. With the stock jack that comes with the car, there's like a groove, so that this metal piece right here, it kind of goes around it. What I like to do is get a piece of leather or something and put it in that slot so it doesn't damage the paint. But what you want to do is you just want to lift it by putting it in between like this little knob and this knob right there on the car. You should be able to see it there, but that's where I put it, and then you just start lifting this thing up. That's plenty high enough. Okay, here we go. There. I'll go ahead and lift the car up here. There, both tires are coming up off the ground. I just make sure that I got a really level surface. You want to be really careful if you're on an unlevel surface doing this stuff too. I got my jack stands here already. I'm ready to put them underneath those spots. Take this out of the way. I made these little pieces of metal. They're shaped like a little channel, and they got some leather in it. But what I use them for, whenever I go to jack my car up, I just put them underneath the lip like that, just to keep it from chipping the paint really bad. And I always make sure that I line this jack stand like pretty good, centered up really well. But I think that's centered up pretty good right there. And then I'll go around to the other side, and I'll get this thing centered up pretty good. Yeah, that's centered up. It looks pretty square. There. Now all I gotta do is let this thing down a little. And here we go. Most of the weight is on those, and I'll just double check it to make sure that it all lined up good and everything. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's all looking good. What I did is I set the parking brake, and I lifted up the front of the car first. And I'll show like the jacking point here on the front. And there it is. Like in between these holes on the cross member, like right there in the center, that center hole that is in the middle of the video, that's the area that you want to put the jack. I'm going back here to the rear, and on both sides I have the jack stands in place for when I lift the car up. So there we go, I got the jack stands in place on both sides. There we go. And I'll show you the jack point underneath here. And there it is. You can kind of see like the flat spots like right here and right here. But this is where you want to put the jack in the rear. I'll just lift this up and line it up. Okay, I'll start jacking the car up now. But I'm going to line these jack stands up with the center. There, that looks good. And I'll just go ahead and let it down right now. Real slow. That one looks lined up good. This one looks lined up good. There, and I'll check it one last time here. Yep, that's lined up great. And that one's lined up in the center, so they're both good. There's a lip right there that you jack the vehicle up. What you do not want to jack the car up with is the frame of the car right here. You don't want to do that. That will bend the frame of the car, and it's not good. It could bend the frame of the car. So that's why they got these jack points for lifting up the vehicle.